afternoon and welcome to your favorite weekly current affairs program where we dissect national issues, where we comment on very topical issues that has to do with the development of Nigeria and some of the very latest happenings around the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agunlawa. I apologize for starting the program slightly behind schedule, but it's always a delight to know that you are there willing to spend your 60 minutes with us on the show, and for some, part of their 60 minutes with us. You won't be disappointed today. Today's program promises to be very educative, enlightening, because I have very, very, very competent personalities with me today who will be looking at the very latest trending story. As the case may be, we are looking at the rule of law, the situation in Nigeria. It is very, very appalling. It gives cause for concern. But I won't do the talking. I have a legal practitioner with me today, Barrister Agbolagba Joshua. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you very much, sir.
I also have with us, because we know that some of the personalities involved in these issues of rule of law or breach of rule of law has to do with celebrities, has to do with top musicians, popular musicians, Nollywood actors who are celebrities. So we have with us today the Vice Chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria, Edo State Chapter, and also a clergyman, Dr. Elvis Agbonaima. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me. Viewers, God bless you.
We also have with us a very, very renowned clergyman and one that comments on national issues. He's a man that you need to listen to because he knows a lot about security, a lot with what is happening in our security architecture in Nigeria. Apostle Kesi Chukwu, nice to have you.
Nice to be here one more time again.
Okay, so like I said, we are looking at the rule of law, and it is believed that in any country, if democracy must be entrenched, in any country, if development must be guaranteed, there must be rule of law, where everybody are subject to the dictates of the law in that country. Nobody is above the law. Everybody obeys the law. Now, some persons with immunity may not be arrested and prosecuted because of immunity, but once they leave office, they are subjected to the dictates of the rule of law. That is very evident in very developed countries. We'll see what is happening in the US with former President Donald Trump. So, but in Nigeria, what is the situation? Is anybody above the law? The answer is no. Nobody is above the law. Now, what gives cause for concern is the recent very, very ugly incident between Afrobeat star Seun Kuti and a policeman, where Seun Kuti, in a viral video, well, assaulted a policeman. And the policeman, to the surprise of Nigerians, was very calm in that video. And now Seun Kuti has been arrested, has been granted bail, and a lot has been generated on reactions to that. But it's not only Seun Kuti. There was a case of a senator, Elisha Agbo, who was also caught on camera assaulting a woman in Abuja. That was another trending story some time ago. It's not only Senator Agbo. So many persons have been involved in the breach of the rule of law. It's only those caught on camera that seem to make the headlines. Well, like I said, my guest will give us a detailed analysis of this, and we're going to start with the legal practitioner in our midst. Now, the rule of law. Joshua Agbolagba, the rule of law. Now, what's the situation in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, sir. The rule of law in Nigeria is quite painfully to say,
Okay.
It has been bastardized, using that word, because first and foremost, those that are meant to uphold the law, you find them having great disregard for the law. And then, you know, once it starts from the top, if, for example, a leader is recalcitrant, and doesn't obey simple rules and regulations, then his subjects also would now copy whatever he's doing and believe that they too are above board. And so that will now become a very huge problem in the society. And that is why talking, like during the introduction, you mentioned about Donald J. Trump, and then those things that he did in office, and then now he's facing the consequences after leaving office. But you know that some of those that worked with him, even while he was still in office, while they were still in office, they had issues. The press secretary, some of them, in fact, they were being removed and other things, and other different kind of issues happened with that man's government in particular. And then coming back home to Nigeria also, you find out that some personalities may have other staff, members of staff that are working with them, and because they feel that their boss is this particular person, then they decide to have disregard for the rule of law. And and then when maybe those people, their boss, now hears that your subordinate has done something wrong, instead of correcting him or doing something, or you cover it up, and then you expect such a person now to now live a good life or lead a good life. No, he will be like, even if I do something wrong, my guy is there to take care of me. Nothing can happen. And that's what happens again with celebrities and other personalities, where they believe that even if I do something, my fans are there to say, no, you people cannot do him anything. People free him, release him. He's our man. They are disrespecting him, or they are beating him because he's our man, or because he does not want to join them, or because he sings against them. No matter what you want to do, there are some things, there are some lines you don't cross. Personally, as a human being, and then as a citizen who is under the constitution of Nigeria, there are some things you don't do. You don't assault a uniformed person, whether be it police, NCDC, military. You don't do that, no matter what. And I'm very glad that that policeman didn't retaliate, because in fact, if he had done anything, that would have been the highlight of everything. They'll say, in fact, maybe it's the policeman that actually assaulted him first, and then they doctored that video to put Sheu's on first. But we see that the policeman just stood and didn't do anything, and that's why most people are praising him now. But if he had raised his hand to do anything to Seun Kuti, that would have become assault and battery. But now it is the case of Seun Kuti assaulting and battering a police officer. Okay,
thank you, Joshua Agbalagba, legal practitioner. We'll come back to you. But let's just get the thought of Dr. Elvis Agbalagba. Now, celebrities are really caught in the web. Most celebrities are the ones, do they think they have immunity because they are now celebrities? We see some celebrities actually crossing the line.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Not just the celebrity. The truth of the matter is that we're talking about the rule of law. In Nigeria, it has become the highest bidder carry the day. And like you said about this celebrity of a thing, sometimes this social media of a thing, because there's no much control.
Okay.
It has entered so many people's head because they now have millions of followers, and again, the followers are so a problem. Now, because they have, millions or thousands of followers, the thing is affecting them, and because there is no control. And, like I tell people that every leader is a product of the society. If you want to look at, the rule of law, how some celebrities are bridging it, they also got it from even the father, the leader, from the society. Today, people who will beat traffic light here, they will go to Ghana that is close here, they will obey traffic light. Are you getting it now?
Yes.
Now, when we talk about the rule of law, just look at what just happened recently now. How Nigeria came up and cried to say a new Nigeria is what we need now. Why are we clamoring for a new Nigeria? Because we want a new Nigeria. A new Nigeria we are talking about where the rule of law will be the order of the day. That everybody will obey, whether you are big, whether you are middle, you are small, at any level you are, both the big, everyone will obey the law. That is the new Nigeria we are craving for now. I'm thank God by God's grace, Nigeria is away, though the battle is there. And if you look at, I started to say that, the challenge we have now is like, people believe that because I have money, I have popularity, I have influence, I can do what I like. That is the problem. Just like the court, the judiciary, who would have helped. I said when I started, in my opening when I said that it has become to a large extent like the highest bidder. And now that's why you see Nigerians are like, oh, before this 29th of May, 2023 swearing in, they want this case to be addressed. I said the other day when I was here, I said if Kenya can deliver their case, their electionary issue case in less than a month, we can do better. Because some of those countries are even learning from us. It's not bad we learn from them. Talking about even Ghana here. Now, if we are talking about the rule of law, majority of us are guilty of breaching the law. Majority of us. Not just only the entertainer, because I'm not speaking because I'm the vice chairman of Attorney of Nigeria. No, I'm speaking on a general ground. Like people will say, the layman will say, Nigeria, if we not see what's in the hot, we not the listing. Until there is fire, until there is problem, we don't easily just submit to the law, and that is a problem. It is not just one area, it's almost every area. And that's why we are craving, like I said, for a new Nigeria, for a bet of a new Nigeria where the rule of law will be the order of the day.
Thank you. We'll come back to you because we must really address this celebrated thing. Apostle Casey Chuku, now what triggered this discussion is the recent viral video of Shehu Kuti assaulting a policeman. Of course, he was arrested. He's been granted bail, but that means the case is not over. But then, why do you think the situation in Nigeria is pathetic? People do not obey. They do not subject themselves to the rule of law.
Okay. When people, I'm not here to defend Shehu Kuti.
Okay.
And I'm not here also to support Shehu Kuti.
Yes.
But I must tell you that the person Shehu Kuti slapped was a police driver. It was not a policeman, but a police driver. He was not armed and he was alone. I must tell you, if they were like 4, 5, 6, nothing could have made Shehu Kuti to go and slap the driver. It's because he's a policeman, but he's not a policeman with a weapon, but he's a policeman that is a driver. And we should ask a question, who was he driving? At that time, a policeman driving a private vehicle, and you hit someone and you came back. Possibly he's a driver to one of these politicians in town. And we want to thank God for internet, because a lot of things have been unveiled because of internet, because there are a lot that is actually going on. You see, we don't expect anything less than when you are in a country where people who are richer than the country, where people who are in a position, they are sitting in the position because of money. Their aim of going there is to get money. So you kill somebody, you are arrested, and you are able to pay. You get yourself out of it. The reason why Shehu Kuti issue is that serious now is because it was recorded assaulting a policeman. But we also have so many that is not on camera that somebody did and get away with it. But right now, you see, Nigeria lawmakers, security personnel, they are not helping this country at all, because they are actually the main problem of this. You see, bank vehicle breaking traffic rules, taking the left corner, people escorting governors, president, and this, they break traffic rules because they are in position. And we are watching them. We that are in traffic, we are watching them. When a policeman was being beaten by his boss at a reception in Airport Road, I went there. I told the man, Oga, this thing you are doing is very wrong. I was challenging the politician, but do you know what the policeman said to me? I beg, no talk put to na my Oga, now they pay me, no talk put, no cost for everything, help me beg am. You were beating a security man that was guiding you, and you expect me to sit down there and keep quiet. And tomorrow, what is my thought? Oh, because this man have money. So if I have money, I can slap a policeman also. I can employ a policeman and beat policemen. Because them themselves, who are in authority, who are in power, who are security men, they have showed their birthright to the society. Because when you see the way some Nigeria police behave, you understand, you will know that some of them actually deserve a slap. There's one trending now recently where a policeman stopped a bike man in Lagos. Stopped the bike man, was asking the bike man for a paper. Maybe the paper is not correct and they wanted to take the bike man to police station. The bike man was begging them, please, this is my means of livelihood, just leave it for me. While he was dragging with them, they used combat and tear the citizen's head. Is that the right? And they were hitting him. You see, thank God that was being caught on camera. I believe that the IG will see that also and also get those policemen arrested. If you know what some policemen are doing in this town, you will even say some of them deserve a slap. Because you should not conclude, because we didn't know what transpired before the video came on board. Because Shehu Kuti was shouting, do you want to kill me? Do you want to kill me? You can't go and bat somebody with his family on the back. He's a human being, he should be reacted. But it's so unfortunately that the government took it as a personal matter. Because after he was being granted bail, they went to his house and began to search everywhere again. What concerned what happened on the road? It was not a criminal offense. He was not charged for robbery. They went to his house and started searching everywhere. That simply means they were not only interested in the slap that was given to a policeman, they were trying to check if they will see something like some hard drugs or something in the hand. So our leaders can actually help us, whereby people who are involved in corruption, breaking the rules, are going away with it. Example, I round up with it. Look at the judiciary. We have been looking for the presidential candidate of APC who they say won the election. He has not appeared in court. Can a poor man try that? That you have a case in the court and you cannot appear in the court, and the court kept quiet because the man in question is richer than the whole Nigeria. No. So that is why they have not done. If a poor man tried that, by now they could have arrested the poor man. But nobody is saying anything about that.
You want to conclude with that.
Nobody is
saying anything about that. I must correct the perception in the public. You know, thank God we have a legal practitioner now. He will clear that. But I know that anybody that has a case in the court can be represented by his legal counsel. Am I correct?
Yes, that's very correct.
Yes, so whether the person is there or not, if he has a legal representative, he's covered. Whatever the outcome of that court case.
Yes. Depend on the case.
Depend on the case, yes. But no matter the outcome of that case, as long as you have a legal representation in court or a representative in court, you are covered. But that's not to take away the meat of our discussion. Apostle Casey has highlighted a lot of things.
Rule of law.
Yes. We've seen the impact of the social media. The impact cannot be overemphasized. It has exposed a lot. We've seen where actually some security personnel will be carrying umbrella for their boss and all of that. This is abnormal. And when it goes viral, police authorities, they react. They condemn it. Now, I must commend the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. And the chairman of the Police Service Commission, former IGP, Solomon Arase, is a great patriot that we're all very proud of. A professional policeman as well. Now, if the police, if they are found wanting, they will also be reprimanded. We've seen cases like that in Lagos and other states where policemen were arrested. We've seen where even the IGP will order orderly room trial and probably some policemen demoted. We've seen all of that. But we must obey the rule of law. If any country must develop, we must be subject to the rule of law. Barrister Joshua, now, we've seen a situation where some security agents too they carry out their own extrajudicial, I don't want to say killings now, it's not only killing. They become judges in what ought to be maybe civil cases. Is that not a breach of the rule of law as well?
Yes, that's a very big breach of the rule of law. Besides, I keep on saying that it is like what my co-guests have also talked about, that most times, the people in power, they abuse the rule of law to a large extent. For example, a situation whereby maybe a case between a landlord and a tenant, that's purely a civil matter. And the landlord goes to bring police to come and arrest the tenant. And the police will actually come from the office, from the station, and they know that they are not supposed to do that. But they will do that and collect money and go and harass the tenant, maybe because he has not paid his rent or he has not done something or just for lousy reasons. And the police will come in, and then they have so bastardized the Nigerian police force that you can now use them to do anything you want to do. You want to have a birthday party, you go and call policemen to come out the opening gate for you to stand guard. You go and, in fact, different kind of situations that are uncalled for, that cannot happen in saner climes, but in Nigeria those kind of things happen. And then again, you see, it is one thing to talk about these things, and it's another thing for those in power, those in authority, to actually take actions. If a policeman is found wanting, he should be punished by the appropriate authority. And then if that matter is maybe a criminal matter, he will have both the punishment from his office, the police commission, and then be charged to court after that. Those are some things that some Nigerians don't even know. After the police commissioner maybe has sanctioned him, they cannot hand him over to the court to now face criminal sanctions again if he has done something in a criminal manner. But then again, in Nigeria, people just believe that once you see somebody on uniform, you are not supposed to do anything. You cannot talk to him. In fact, if you talk to him too much, if you even greet him too much, he can slap you, like what they have said. Those are some of the things that make people to be scared. In fact, you are driving on the road and then you see police, apprehension comes to your mind, and you are like, even me as a lawyer, when I'm driving on the road and they say a young boy that I don't have beard, and they say, hey, I'm a lawyer. And then you see me, most times I try to wear native and wear suit so that, because if I wear short,
you want to look big.
Yes, because I look very tiny, and then I come out and then they see me with my haircut and say, are you not in primary school? Why are you driving? Like, sir, I'm a lawyer. And they tell you, calm down. Who bought you this car? Wait, talking about I'm a lawyer. So because I'm scared of police now, so I should now make money and then be trekking because I don't want police to harass me. And so these are some of the things that you see some people.
So this is a personal experience.
Yeah,
now.
you see things that maybe people are engineers and this thing, and then they have bought vehicles and all these kind of things. Some of us that grew up in the university environment, so we went to school on time quite early. So by the age of 2021, you're already a lawyer, you're already an engineer, and then maybe God has blessed you, you are doing well, and then you start driving a car, and the policeman sees you, and then he's vexed. I say, this small boy, where is he money? But crying out loud, if you check the paper, what you are supposed to do, you check those papers, and there are even some things that policemen are not even supposed to do. For example, they are going to stop and say, hey, where's your paper? They fire extinguisher and those ones. Those are the things that the road safety is supposed to do, not police. But police, they tend to add everything, create jurisdiction for them, add everything together, and they will check for papers, they will check your bag, they will check for you, they will check your name, where's your ID card. Different things that they don't have jurisdiction over, but they keep on doing those kind of things. And then the youths are always apprehensive when they see police officers. You see them, they are like, hey, I beg you, hope I'm okay, without even being in any criminal matter, or you are not holding anything, you don't have any criminal content on you, but you're already scared to face the police. So these are the things that we have always talked about. Where a situation whereby the youths, or even the citizens in general, they are not happy with the police. They can't even, in fact, they are so scared to talk about it. But when you see policeman by the road, you go and pass on that side. I beg you. That's why
I'm going to interject
yes,
now.
Sir.
You are taking this discussion now further.
Yes, sir.
I know the youths now be very happy with what you are saying, because they want to hear about how youths, their relationship with the police, which is not very, very cordial. But we'll talk about that immediately after this break. Okay, nice to have you back. For those of you spending part of your 60 minutes with us, we are delighted. During the break, you just watched that montage regarding the Nigerian police and in local palace, and it was said, if it happened, the Nigerian police of our dream, if it happened, it's possible. There's nothing impossible in this world. We've seen Nigerian police being encouraged for training and retraining, even in the handling of firearms. And gradually we are seeing improvement. So if it happened, you saw that during the break, we need to support the Nigerian police. Everybody must encourage them. We need to support our security agencies because of their sacrifice, because of their commitment. It is not easy to do the kind of job that they do. It's very easy for many Nigerians to just sit indoors and castigate the police. But I would encourage you not to do that because the job of the policeman is not I don't want to use the word enjoyable. They love the job, but it's very tasking. They stay under the sun, under the rain, to ensure that we sleep with our 2 eyes closed. So we need to encourage them. But let's get the thought of Dr. Elvis Agbonaima. You are also a leader of the youths. We just heard what Barrister Joshua said. The youths and the police, they need to be understanding. What Joshua said just now, some very young persons, sometimes you are worried, maybe less than 21, already driving a GLK. And probably that's the reason police want to search, wants to know how they acquire such illusory cars.
Can I also shock you?
Yes.
Police officer will stop a young man and they will ask you, why are you not doing Yahoo?
I've never heard that.
I'm telling you reality. When they discover that, yes, sir, I'm talking fact. It might not be evidential to you now.
The public domain.
Now, when they stop you on the way and they discover that you are doing, right business, legit business, and they cannot, they can't intimidate you, or they cannot get something from you, some of them will look at you and say, why are you not doing Yahoo? I'm talking from evidence.
That's very strange.
Now, you said something just now that which you encourage police. But can I tell you the truth? There's a problem in the police. To start with, many of them, we have too many men with questionable characters in the police force. If I would want to talk more, you talked about we should support them, we should encourage them. I will tell you, I have a lot of police around, but I don't want them to be my friend. Because having them as friends, because of experience. Now, a police officer who knows you, when you go to police station, he will pretend that he doesn't know you. It is, we have that in the society. People are saying it in our local parlor. It is reality. Now, when you are talking about we should support the police, assist them, do you know, in Edo State, where I belong, I'm a citizen of Edo State, city of Nigeria. I'm resident here. Do you know this vigilante that the government set up? For a long time, the police were having problem with them. Why? They said they have taken their work from them. I'm telling you, I don't come on here, I'm a leader, by God's grace. I don't come on here to be saying fallacy. It's just like recently now the issue have died down. There was a serious issue between, and the vigilante, when they came, they really helped to sanitize a lot of things. At the time, a lot of communities. Do you know that even as we speak, sometimes, for people to go to police, they prefer to go to vigilante in our areas, in many areas in those states. Now, instead of the police to appreciate the police now to be happy that these people are working because some of them are not on salary, it is the police that are on salary. But they were now so vexed against them. angry. Maybe recently that issue is dying down.
Okay.
Now what I'm trying to say, what is this? There is so much corruption in Nigeria police. Until that is dealt with. Because the youth now are not free with them. Like Barrister just said, if you let people like us, something like me, I know myself. A police officer cannot intimidate me.
You have your vehicle particulars, your documents.
Once
you have your documents,
even those who have documents, they are looking for trouble where there is no trouble. I'm telling you, a police officer cannot harass me because I know myself and I know my rights. Are you getting that? Yeah. But it's not everybody that can stand that because they intend to intimidate. Now, how can you expect someone you intimidate to fall in love with you? Nobody loves who torments, if somebody torments you, will you love that person? The police, the youth as we speak now, the Nigerian youth, they are not in love with the Nigerian police. You know why? Because the kind of torment that come from there, the kind of harassment, whether you are innocent, even can I shock you, the people that are even involved in crime, majority of them are even, the police cannot even do anything to them because I told you when I started, I said it's like the highest bidder. I'm telling you. It is those people who have not made it that the police even harass. It is more the innocent people. It's true. Go carry your camera and go to the street. It is more the innocent people that the police harass. Those who are even involved, they have their way. You get it now. That is the thing. Now, telling us to help the police, to support them, Nigerians, the youth, every one of us, we are ready to help, to support. But the question is this: will I be supporting who will be tormenting me?
Okay.
If the Nigeria police force, if they are able to sanitize Nigeria police force, because there's a high level of corruption there. If you go to barrack, if you see, sir, when you see most of these police officers on the way, you think they want to work. They have come there to collect Olidara. It's true.
What's the meaning of that?
They call it atara. They want to collect money on the street. I mean, many times, normally, when you see a roadblock of a police, it's supposed to be happy. But now, majority of the police checkpoints you see on the way, they are not there because they want to safeguard the people. They are just there to collect something, except for some few police officers. But majority of them, and they harass people.
Those few police officers, what do they do? You just mentioned, you said there are some few. What do they do?
There are some few that they are doing their job. But many are out there, they forgot that even though they are complaining that the economy, are we not in the same Nigeria? All of us are suffering together. We go to the same market. You get it now? Now, you will not use your problem against me. Because you have your problem, I have my problem. We will go to the same market. Or because now they have not paid you. Do you know if they have received my salary? Or because the economy, because that is, they will tell you, things are hard. Is it you alone that things are hard for? Things are hard for everybody.
Okay, Dr. Elvis.
I didn't get it now.
Yes.
I'm trying to be very.
Yes,
now, the truth is that for us to love the Nigerian police, they must be willing, because it must be both sides. Okay. You show me love, I will respond. But if you are tormenting me, you are trying to, because that's why you discover that the youth are not in love with the police at all. That's why many you don't even want to join the police force.
Okay, that's another discussion. But I must quickly clarify here that the opinions canvassed in this program are personal to my guest and not a reflection of the station. But I must also make this very clear that yes, in any organization you have the good, you have the bad, and Nigerian police is not an exception. But we've always seen that the Nigerian police hierarchy, they do not tolerate corruption. Once any policeman is caught, we've seen they don't condone. They are giving orderly room a trial, and some of them they're even demoted. In Delta State recently, we reported a case of a police inspector who shot a man. He said it was accidental discharge, but the police authorities in Delta did not take that. the man was arraigned and was remanded. A police officer, he was remanded, he was dismissed and he was remanded. So that's to tell you that the police hierarchy do not tolerate corruption, do not tolerate misconduct. Yes, some persons might be doing it, but one day they will be caught. Okay, but let's get the thought of Apostle Casey Chukwu. Now, the rule of law. How can Nigerians be encouraged to actually subject themselves to this rule of law so we can have a better society? Yes.
Yeah, like what Shehu Kuti did,
Okay.
he submitted himself
Okay.
to the police.
That was good.
Which was a very good move. I think we are watching our leaders, people who are leading us. We are following their footsteps. If the governors, the senators, people who are in power can obey the rules of law, we the citizens who are looking up to them will begin to behave like them. But when we now see that they are doing what they are doing, they are getting away with it, we see that we want to follow their footsteps. For example, there are so many court orders which some of our leaders are not obeying. They pay deaf ear when a judge rule and say this is what we want. You see somebody will behave as if the judge that passed the law does not know what he's saying. We take for example, Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail. Up till now, that order was not carried out. When we see things like this, we now believe that there is this personal hatred for people who are not in power, for people who don't have money. Like my brother was saying just now, that the rule of law is not for the big men. It's as if it was created for the poor men to suffer with. Even to a large extent that you see a criminal roaming around the street, arrested, release, arrested, release, arrested, release, arrested, release. But the one that was arrested for going to buy Indomie late night is in Oko prison awaiting trial or hearing. You see the main criminals in the society, and then we ask ourselves, are these people human beings like us, or they are spirit like us? When we begin to see this, I was saying something that if you see a Nigerian police on the road, it's not as if they are there to make sure there's no robbery or anything or the other. It's as if some of them, it's as if they are there to meet up to target. That leads us to their leaders who send them to the road. There is somebody that sent them to the road and tell them you must meet to target. If you don't meet to target, I can change you with another person. You see these people going to the road, and every day I'm coming from Sapele Road. When you get to Sapele Road, you see like 3 police checking points, and they don't stop any other vehicle except vehicles that are above 4 million above. Once they stop you, the first thing, open your boot. The embarrassment alone, before they will not ask you for your paper, open your boot, do this one, these are what will happen, go to station. And when you see an innocent man being arrested to the police station, and police will know that this person is innocent, police will still be talking about bailing. For example, if I come and say, this man is threatening me, he want to kill me, hey, you were there, all of you, this and this, police will pick all of you there. By the time we now go to station, you now say, I did not. They say, did this one touch you? I say no. This one touch you? I say no, but this one was the one that slapped me. Police will still ask you who were innocent and say, bail yourself. If we come to a level where police sees a man who is innocent and say, come out, you are innocent, we apologize to you, you cannot go. Just like the issue that happened to the presidential candidate of a Labour Party that was arrested in abroad, overseas. He was detained for like 3 hours. After 3 hours, he was cleared and he was apologized and said, sorry, someone was trying to impersonate you. We apologize. Go. If it was Nigeria here, they could have collected money for bail. They will bail him. They will ask for who will stand for shorty. Someone who will come and stand for you to bail you. So when we begin to see all these things in the police system, that means they are not ready yet. And that is why everybody is clamoring for a better Nigeria, where we can see policemen who have good, their brain are correct, who sees you and check your paper and say, how you doing? Fine. Go. Please, there is danger on the road. Don't go. Park and wait a little bit. Stay with us. Armed robber is ahead of you. But each time we see policemen, even me, I don't know how he used to pass the road, because I was surprised. He said the police cannot intimidate him. Even when I see police, my mind will cut. Except maybe I'm driving my Corona. But anything that make me to drive Benz, I'll say, Skype, they will just tell me, park. Park. When they just tell you park, they'll just look at you. They'll say, calm down. They'll say, open your boot. They'll just bring your paper. They will collect your paper. They will cross to the other side of the road. You just be there. If you mistakenly tell them, sir, I'm going somewhere, they'll say, now me no get where they go. I follow and carry and go station. For asking them, like, the intimidation is something else. So we beg Nigeria police. The only way they can help us is bring those people who are breaking the rules of law and make us feel a sense of belonging. Don't see us as an enemy. Don't see us as a criminal. You see a politician who is a criminal blowing siren, you clear road for them, they will pass. You will not tell them to park. I've seen so many healers that does not have a police plate number. They are blowing siren, escorting somebody who I don't even know. Police will not even tell them park. Let's know if the people you are convening in that place are security personnel of government official. As far as there's a siren blowing and one police with police uniform, whether it is fake police or original police, is there, they'll just tell them pass.
Thank you, Apostle Casey. Barrister Joshua Agbolagba. Now, how do we ensure rule of law in this country?
Yes, thank you very much, sir. My co-guests also, they have spoken extensively on the problem bedeviling the Nigerian police force. And now going back to your question, how do we ensure rule of law? We have to have a reorientation of the minds of both the rulers and the ruled, that the rule of law is supreme, and that the law, nobody is above the law, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from. When we know that, when we get that into our senses, then the rule of law will now begin to take its place. But whereby some people feel that they are above the law, then we will always have this problem. Where the police feel that because they are the custodians of the law, so they can do anything they want to do, they are the enforcers of the law, so they can do anything they want to do. That's also a problem. But whereby you know that if I misbehave, I can be sanctioned. Even as a policeman, I can still go to prison. Then it will checkmate their excesses. Also, coming down to the citizens also, we also have to, I always say that you have to cooperate with the police, but like what my uncle also said here now, that when you say the police, that there's no cooperation between the police and citizens, I talk about the apprehension that even as a youth, sometimes you are going out with your friends, and then maybe you are driving your car, and then the first thing that you make sure you are with is your MBA ID card, so that in case anything happens, you can quickly whisk it out and say, I'm a lawyer, see. So if I'm not a lawyer, maybe I read engineering now, and I bring out my ID card, so say, so Nigerian Society of Engineers, I say, calm down. Who you
okay, so they leave the lawyers.
No, even some lawyers, it depends on how you talk with them too.
Okay.
Some of us that have gone into the law for quite a while now, and then we know how to relate with people. It also boils down to human relations. Okay. When you know how to relate with them, then sometimes they might let you go. But sometimes, imagine you come out and then maybe you are vexed or something has happened at home, and then you are driving and then you just raise your voice a pitch higher, and then they say, okay, you want to do any of this, calm down. So these are the problems, whereby the citizens are scared of people that are supposed to protect them. Then where do we go from there? Imagine they say if something wrong happens, report to the police. And then the police is the one that is now giving you apprehension. So who do you report to? Whereby something is happening, you are supposed to report to the police. Those you are supposed to report to now, they are the ones causing problem. Where do you now go to? So whereby the police should have a reorientation that these people are the people you are beating or you are putting under pressure and under subjugation are those that are paying taxes that they used to pay your salary. So if you kill all of them, beat all of them, then there's no tax again. Who will pay your salary? Those are some things that people need to understand. It goes beyond saying this person was misbehaving, this one was misbehaving. But then again, if the citizens, you beat all of them, you harass them, and then they are not free to carry out business, their daily business, and so they can't pay tax, the government can't run, then everybody will go home. And when they say everybody is going home, there's no actual home that they are going to. Everybody will go to the streets because you have now turned the government into something else. But then again, the police as an arm of government, as a part of government, should ensure that the citizens are at home with them. Okay. When you see a policeman, you are willing to even go and meet him and say, ah, sir, well done for the good work you are doing, or sir, something's happening there. But you see a policeman, even if they are robbing, you're like, now me, you'll go report. No, you pass this side and say, I beg, before they say you are the prime suspect. You that came to report, they make you the prime suspect. Those are some of the issues that are bedeviling the Nigerian police.
Okay, thank you very much, Joshua. Dr. Elvis, just conclusion now, your closing remarks.
First and foremost, we must know our right. It's a major problem. Many of us do not know our right. Know your right.
In terms of citizens.
In terms of citizens. Like I said, I can't be intimidated by a police officer because I know my right. It's also good as Nigerians we should go through the Constitution.
Okay, you read it.
You read it. By God's grace, I'm a civil, activist, civil rights activist, and I read a lot. I don't just talk. I make sure what I'm saying is on the book, on our Constitution. And for those of us who are driving, make sure your vehicle and everything is intact. Because once you have your document intact, because there are even many of us, we are not ready to do the right, we are even breaking the law. Some people are carrying their vehicle for like 5 years, they have not registered it. It's true.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Because police will be looking for error. If you tell me to stop, for example, if I stop and ask what, you ask me for something, I know what you should ask. There are things as a police officer should ask me. Because I will tell you it's not your right. And I will let you know. Now, we, the citizens, we still have our own problem. We are always wanting to cut shortcut. For example, many of us enjoy to bribe the police. We are the one that also trained them to that level. We should desist. My advice, my closing remark is, we are craving for a new Nigeria. This new Nigeria we are craving for, we must be ready to change. Change our ways of doing things. Because if we don't change, nothing will change. We must be ready to be a law-abiding citizen.
Thank you very much. A quick one, Apostle Casey, just one word.
Yeah. I want every security personnel there to know that just as you are maltreating Nigerians, your mother, your brother, your sister, your daughter is somewhere along the road too, and they will meet security personnel. The way you want your mother, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your family to be treated by a security personnel, treat every Nigeria you see on the road that way.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, so I want to thank Apostle Casey. Thank you. Barrister Joshua, thank you very much, especially for the youth. I hope you enjoyed him. We have been able to expose the relationship between the youth and the police, and I know that the police will actually look into it and see how they can relate well with our youths. We need a very, very peaceful society so that there can be development. Dr. Elvis Agbonaima, thank you very much. Though you didn't tell us much about our celebrities are also breaching the rule of law.
Let me just add that one.
We don't have time again.
Okay.
So maybe next time.
Next time.
So we'll have Dr. Elvis again. And we know the celebrities, you must also obey the law. Everybody must obey the law. That's the program for this week, 60 Minutes Nigeria. Thanks for your time. My name is Egu Sagbola. Do have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.